Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Howdy. If somebody asked you, how would you describe yourself? Do you have one or two or three words that say, that's me? Well, today we have a guest, Tanya Hulett, who has three words that describe her well, and she's very proud of them. And we're going to bring Tanya up here on stage and have a discussion about alignment and healing and a lot of other topics. So, Tanya, please join me.
Welcome. I'm so glad to be here. I'm a little bit nervous, but I am happy to be here. So.
Thursday nights, I'm on a networking event. In fact, I'll be speaking tonight at one, and Tanya is one of the guests on that. I think we're also on another one or two events. So I've known Tanya now for a little while, and she has always in the background this plant that's growing inside aquaponically, and it's something we're going to get into today. But you go by the moniker, or at least a self-induced moniker, of a redneck hippie nerd. So all three of those don't sound like they go together, but in your case, they kind of do. So tell us a little bit about the redneck, the hippie, and the nerd, and how they all got into your back pocket.
Well, I think we'll start with the redneck part. So the redneck part kind of comes from my upbringing. My dad grew up on a farm, so we have a lot of that farming, mentality where you have to be practical about what you're doing, and you have to have some common sense so you don't get hurt, and so that you can figure out things and just reuse things, all that kind of stuff. So that redneck part is really as far as personality goes, is part of my my practical side, my doing things efficiency, trying to reuse things, not going too over the top, that sort of thing. The hippie part is where I think really started when I was younger. We lived out in the middle of the woods, so it was really that connection to nature and those things more natural, which, if you grew up on a farm, you're farming, you're using what you grow, that sort of thing. So those two kind of connect together a little bit, but then it also takes me into that more of looking at other alternatives for stuff, more natural alternatives, as you would say. And then the nerd, I am, you start looking into one thing and it could take you down a rabbit hole down to another thing. So, you look at one thing, you get interested, that gives you some other ideas to look into something else, and you just keep going and going and going. And so that's my kind of nerdy part.
Well, you're here in the Houston area, and you went to Texas A&M. Was that a natural connection, or tell us about that?
Because I lived in the woods, I had a natural connection to animals. Okay, so I wanted to become a veterinarian, and so that's why I originally went to Texas A&M, is to become a veterinarian. I actually worked in animal emergency for 10 years. I did not get my veterinarian degree, but I did work closely in that field for quite a while. And then I ended up teaching high school, so I taught science, and that science brought me to even getting another degree, and I've got a degree in chemistry as well. So I just love all things. I think it's really important for people to continue to learn as they go. So
my daughter had a large dog for a while as a Mastiff. And they took it in 186 pounds. It was the largest dog that they've ever had in that clinic, and that was in Huntsville, Texas.
Oh, wow.
So, and then now she has Chihuahua mixes, and so it's kind of in between, but it's interesting. Yeah. But you love them all, and the bigger they are, it's just amazing how much of the personalities that they just wrap around you.
Yeah, I love dogs. We have 2 dogs here now, and I think 4 cats, and we have 17 chickens in the backyard. So
none of them with names, right?
Oh, they all have names.
Oh, they all have names.
Yeah, even if it's dinner or supper, they all have names.
Okay. So you have a degree in biomedical research, and you have a degree in computers, and you tutor, and you did teach, and now you have a propensity toward health and wellness and nutrition and bettering yourself. So let's go down that avenue for a while. We talked just backstage about healing and alignment, adaptability, and things like that.
Yeah, so I believe that our bodies are these amazing machines that are actually designed to heal themselves if they have all of the right ingredients. And we can all agree that we know that if we're eating right and we're using cleaner products, we're getting exercise, we're getting enough sleep, we're reducing our stress, all of those things that we can, our bodies have everything it needs to actually heal itself. Now, for true healing to actually happen, not only do we need to heal ourselves physically with eating right and those types of things, but we also have to work on that emotional, mental portion of it, and the spirituality, whatever you believe in, whether it's God, the universe, source, whatever that may be for you. In order for true healing to happen, all 4 of those have to align. And so, I have been working with a company for the last since 1996. I've actually been taking their products, and it's just fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It's called Juice Plus. And so I have developed different things around just sharing with people how important it is to get more good, clean food into their bodies, more fruits, vegetables, and berries, and how that can give your body the support it needs to actually repair itself. And so, and not only that, they need to find ways to reduce stress. We're in so much overwhelm these days that we really do need to take that time out and really connect to ourselves and to reduce some of that stress. And so I teach gardening classes. I have an aeroponic growing system, and I teach people how to grow food. I also, help them to just figure out what's the best plan for them in order to make those steps towards better health.
Okay, you mentioned a minute ago 4 pillars to facilitate healing. We didn't really name them exactly, but I'm guessing it's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Is that
Yes.
fair? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the food that you're growing, which from a sustainability or hippie perspective is definitely water conserving. We're getting the better quality of stuff in there, the right kinds of things. But from a physical perspective, the food is super important.
Yes.
From a mental perspective, it's even more important, and most people don't even know that.
Right.
You end up with a few deficiencies here, there, and yonder, and whatever. And something simple like B12. We don't think about that. But B12 deficiency mimics Alzheimer's. It's one of the first things they ask is, they give you a B12 shot, see if that takes care of whatever, issue you have.
Absolutely.
A lot of people confuse that mental with emotional. How do you separate the two?
I'm still working with that, I think. I think our mental state and how we actually deal and react with things affect our emotional state. And so that's the best way I can put it into perspective. So I think that if we can find ways to, I don't want to say detach from the world, but detach from some of our stressors at times, so that we can kind of get some perspective and then view it as an observer instead of being in there, with it, that we can step back a little bit and kind of look at how we're feeling through a different lens, and then that helps us to actually how we're going to dictate how we can actually react to it later.
Yeah, because that stress, it's one of those things I talk about. It's stress, it's all the same. You know, you see something, I see something, but we both interpret it differently. But it's not the interpretation, it's that reaching out and grabbing a hold of and not letting go.
Absolutely.
Is the problem. You know, it's the mere fact, yeah, we both are affected by it. And yours may be a 3-minute, you know, evolution, and it's gone. You know, I get behind somebody at a light or a grocery store. I had to change actually yesterday. The guy in front of me left because the woman in front of him was having a problem. And I wait and I wait and I wait. I move, and finally I move to another one. I'm out the store and she's still there. But you gotta, you know, and by the time I'm out the store, in fact, by the time I got over to the other one, you know, my emotional involvement with her is gone. But we have to realize that, yeah, we see things, we think things, we analyze things, but sometimes you know, it's like our president, love him or leave him. People have, it's almost impossible not to have a neutral thought. And so there's some things in our lives, like dogs. I mean, these are the most lovable things in the world. You know, they're loyal, honest. I mean, just no matter what happens in their lives, 5 minutes later, they're back at you. And no matter what you shouted at them, they're back loving you. It's just like, that's kind of the way we need to be, but we're not. We just don't have that natural adaptability. But you do. It can be trained. Would you agree?
It is. Yes, it is. And you can train it. You can train it a lot by just sometimes just letting a thought come in, noticing it's there, don't react to it, and just let it go. Or even when a thought comes in, how is it making you feel? Or when you're having a conversation with other people, not to even, everybody judges. Okay, so we judge, do I want to wear that purple shirt or that purple shirt today? Like, I'm fixing to dye my hair again. Do I want that shade of purple or do I want that shade of purple? So everybody's judging, but it's what you're doing with that judgment. You have to kind of discern, is that feeding you? Are you resonating with that in a good way, or are you resonating with that in a bad way? And if you're resonating with that in a bad way, then that's where you need to either set up some sort of boundaries to get yourself out of that, or just let it go into one ear and go out the other and say, that's not mine. That's totally them. That's not me. And then kind of move out of that stress. But as a person, I like to get people together so that we can actually sit down in a safe place where it is non-judgmental, that we can discuss different topics, try different methods on how to reduce stress, and just share those ideas and have it be okay that what you're saying right now, I totally don't agree with, but that's okay. It's okay for us not to agree and not to all resonate the same way, but we've got to find those people that do resonate with us. And the ones that are kind of on the line that don't know whether they do or not, you know, we need to give them a chance, and they need to give us a chance to see if there's something that we can't help them with to actually help them reduce their stress, or to feel like they're being seen or heard. Because that's what a lot of people need. They just need to be seen and heard.
You know, when I was a little kid, my mom used to tell me and all my brothers and sisters, if you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say anything at all.
Right.
That's kind of been the way I've grown up. You just, don't particularly care for that particular opinion, but I'm not going to say anything. That's just, but I don't need to get emotionally involved in it. I noticed you used purple more than about 14 times during that last conversation. So I'm guessing you're not Irish, otherwise it would be green.
Well, I am Irish, but I did do green in my hair, and it does not fade out well with my grays. So I stopped with the green and purple. If you ever see my business cards, or even when you hit the connect me button, you'll see me in purple hair. Usually my hair's been purple probably for over 10 years now. But I just got back from vacation and did a lot of swimming, so it's not so purple now. But that's kind of part of my brand. I can go to downtown Houston to a networking thing, and somebody will know exactly who I am walking behind me because of my hair. So it's kind of part of my brand.
Yeah, when I allow a couple to grow in, I call them platinum blonde.
Yeah, mine are pretty. You can't tell it in this light, but mine are pretty metallic gray. So
you earn those, so we might as well show them off. My daughter-in-law was doing blue for a long time, but I guess since she's had our great-grandson, she's pretty much not so much into the blue anymore, but maybe it'll come back. I don't know. But you started a business. Why did you all of a sudden decide to be an entrepreneur?
I think my grandmother was an entrepreneur, and I think I got that gene from her. So my grandmother on my mom's side, who is Irish, by the way, is a Shannon. My grandma Shannon, she had she opened one of the first bakeries in her town. She had a restaurant. She had the largest seashell collection in the state of South Dakota. She had, she just had one business after another. And I think spending the summers with her and actually seeing what she was doing in her business, kind of inbred some of that, helping the community, doing things in the community, being active, that sort of thing. So I love my grandma. What
have you found difficult about starting up something you haven't done before? What are those things that are really gnawing at you?
I think confidence. Confidence has been one of those things. You're always like, it's something new. What are people going to think? That sort of thing. But I think as I get older, because I still don't really know what I want to do when I grow up. As I get older, what I'm realizing is that it's the alignment. So not even alignment with yourself, with healing, but even alignment in your business. That most entrepreneurs that are starting not a franchise, but starting their own business, they are the face of their business. They are the brand. And so when you start thinking about that, if your brand is not aligned with what your goals and your mission and your vision is for your actual business, then it makes it hard for you to take those steps that you need to take to get everything aligned so that you can actually move forward. Because if you know what you want, it makes it real easy to know what the next step is. But if you're still struggling with that, then it makes it harder to take those steps, and it makes it harder for you to actually move forward and be more successful. So I think that's what the big struggle is really that alignment in the business as well. And so this Redneck Hippie Nerd thing has been following me for a while, and I originally joined one of our local chambers, and I was going to introduce myself as the Redneck Hippie Nerd. Now I'm in this chamber because of my tower gardens and the Juice Plus products, so that's what I promote when I'm there with them. And they weren't going to allow me to introduce myself as the Redneck Hippie Nerd. They did not want me to say redneck. And so that kind of pushed me back a little bit, because I'm going to write a book one day, because I have all these funny stories, Redneck Hippie Nerd stories, that I'm going to start sharing with people. And so that threw my alignment off. So it's always trying to figure out, how can I do all of these things I do and kind of get them under one umbrella. So the Redneck Hippie Nerd really does it for me, because it takes all my practicality, growing things, kind of being inventive about what I do, putting it in that natural lane, the hippie lane, which is kind of out there and does, things on the spiritual side. I do drum circles, sound bowls. We do all kinds of different things here. And then bring in that nerd part where I can tie all the science back to it and actually connect them back together. And I've worked with all kinds of coaches through the years, and they're like, pick one lane. It's like, that is not in my nature. It's in my nature to have 15 lanes at one time, which I know slows me down. I know part of that is true, pick a lane. But somehow to figure out how to put it all under one umbrella, and I think I can do that all with the Redneck Hippie Nerd brand.
Well, it's interesting. You know your brand, you know what you want, it aligns with you perfectly. It's interesting you get a little blowback because of our culture today. I saw the same thing when I was we lived in New Orleans for a short while. And the term Cajun is also, they're proud of it down there, except for the people who are not Cajun. They just don't want you to use the term. Yeah. And it's interesting that it's not the people who are the rednecks, it's the people who aren't are the ones that have a problem with it. And anyway, we're at that point in time where I need to take a short commercial break. Be back probably in about a minute and a half. And when we come back, I want to talk to you about how do you market your brand, okay? So why don't you get to that?
What if many of the problems we associate with aging are not random? What if there are identifiable causes behind declining energy, chronic disease, and memory problems? We have been told that aging is simply something we must accept, that slowing down is normal, that growing older means growing weaker. But what if that's only part of the story? Why do some people remain active and engaged well into their later years? Why do others struggle with disease, fatigue, and declining health? What is happening beneath the surface? What processes drive aging? In Aging Sucks, researcher, educator, and author Red O'Loughlin explores what researchers have discovered about why we grow older. No medical degree required, no confusing jargon, just clear explanations of what researchers have discovered about the processes that influence aging. You cannot stop aging, but understanding its causes may help you make better decisions about your health, your future, and your quality of life. Because understanding comes before action. Action creates hope. Aging sucks. End the guesswork. There is hope.
Red O'Loughlin here. My guest today on The Wise Ones on the USA Global TV and Radio Network is Tanya Hulett. Tanya, please join me back up here on stage.
Thank you.
Okay, just before the break, I said I wanted to go down your marketing road. So you formed this company, you got your things going, you've got your brand, you know what you want to do, you're trying to tweak that alignment. When did you start marketing to let the world know that, hey, I'm here?
Well, the Redneck Hippie, I've been marketing under the Booming Love and Light and Grow Kids Healthy with the nutrition part. And so I am now coming out to try to get everything under the umbrella of the Redneck Hippie Nerd. That's something that I've made that come to that. I've come to that decision this year that that's the way I really need to go. And I think part of that was because it does align, and I really do want to get my book up off the on the market. And so I have been talking to a radio station about maybe doing a podcast and sharing those stories and bringing other people in to share stories as well. And so that's all in the background working. But marketing, the biggest thing for marketing for anything is getting out there in the public, not just online, but really, I'm online, but I am not online. Where I do most of my work is in networking groups, face-to-face, and in person, online type things, talking to people, and that's what I really like to do. I like those connections where you can build those relationships, and then you can help other people share their stuff as well, because I think that's a big part of networking. Is number one, building those relationships, and then number two, being an advocate and sharing out what you love about other people. And so I joined our chamber several years back because I want to open up an aeroponic growing tower garden farm to grow fruits and vegetables, clean produce, and to be able to provide it locally to people. And so I thought, what's the best way before I get find the land, get everything started, all that kind of stuff? The best way is to go out there and start building relationships with people so that they know who I am as a person and how I work. And then once it's up and going, then I already have that backing behind me. And so building relationships, whether you're just starting out or whether you're already an established business, is really important. If you want your business to thrive in a local economy, then you have to be a part of that community so that people know who you are and want to do business with you.
Was your business in effect before COVID or after?
So my Grow Kids Healthy was before COVID. And so as far as the tower garden going, that's what I wanted to do, is I wanted to build those relationships so that I could use that Grow Kids Healthy to build that Tower Garden farm. And then COVID kind of got in the way with that. Harvey got in the way with that. There was just a bunch of things that says it's just not the right time yet. But I'm at that point now where I'm trying to get everything under there and figure out exactly how I want this. I've got different pieces. I've got my tutoring piece that I'm doing. I've got an online course that I've developed. You know, I've got the Beaming Love and Light, where we're doing classes, where we do online stuff, we do stuff in person. I've got the nutrition part of it, where I'm doing bingo for your health, and I'm going out in the community and doing different things in the Tower Garden farm, doing things with the Tower Gardens. So it's trying to get all of that kind of in one place.
Let's talk about Tower Gardens. What's a Tower Garden for those who may not know?
A tower garden is an aeroponic growing system. So it's a vertical growing system. And so it stands from the floor, not sitting on anything, to the top, probably about 5 feet. And you can put 20 plants in there. And it grows without soil. It uses less than 10%. They're even saying now that it only uses maybe less than 2% of the water a traditional garden would use. And all the nutrients in the water are being recycled, so it's not leaching out. They've done research at the University of Mississippi. All the plants grow about 30% faster than a traditional garden and produce about 30% more actual produce. And it's just a great way to grow some nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables and herbs, and you can grow them indoors, you can grow them outdoors. It takes up a 3x3 space at max, and you can get anywhere from 20 to 48 different plants in one. You can do microgreens, all kinds. It's just an absolute wonderful growing tool.
Okay, so you have a little frame, and this frame has no dirt in it, but it has little places to plant plants that the roots go down into water. So you have a water that's circulating through there. Mm-hmm. And then you also add whatever, I'm going to call them nutrients rather than fertilizer. So there's nutrients that, maybe tomatoes use, that avocados, or not avocados, that squash or something else. So you can kind of hone in on where a particular plant really needs extra iron or whatever.
The nutrients that was designed for this particular unit, actually the designer used to work for Disney in the land of I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, in where they grow everything. And they paired with NASA to actually develop the nutrients that go into it. So it's in a broad spectrum nutrient for plants. And they actually added in the minerals that the soil is missing, that the plants will uptake that we're deficient in, so that we actually get that added mineral supplement through eating the plants. And I think part of that was because they wanted to do some actual growing up in space, and so they needed something that was broad spectrum for most of the plants, so that the astronauts could get good nutrients. So I had one of the prototypes before they came out on the market, and I tried a bunch of different things, and really honestly the nutrients that we sell that go with it, it's affordable, and it was designed for our unit. So it pretty much works the best from what I can.
So let's assume it's inside. You have the light on 24/7?
No, just like us, we need sleep. So do plants. So the plants make all of their nutrients during the day because they're autotrophs, so they make their own food. And then at night, they utilize that food to grow and repair. So plants need nighttime as well. Just like us, we grow and repair ourselves at night. And so it's one of the reasons why sleep is so important. And so plants need that too. So I typically run my indoor lights 12 and 12, 12 on, 12 off. You can run it a little bit more if you want a little bit more of that. But I don't run them nonstop.
Okay, so how do they get fertilized? You don't have bees floating around doing your fertilization.
So the indoor plants, you have to plant things that don't need to be fertilized, like lettuce, kale, herbs, different things like that. You can plant flowering plants indoors, but it's best that they are what we call a perfect flower. And that's where they have the male and the female parts in there, because then all you have to do is kind of shake the flower, like tomatoes. You can draw tomatoes indoors, because I go around, oh, there's a tomato flower, and I just kind of knock it around a little bit or put a fan on it, and it will self-fertilize, and you'll have tomatoes. Squash, cucumbers, you cannot do that. And what I've found is that what happens is, and this is my observation, someone can fact check me or not, is that the one squash plant will put out the female flowers while the other squash plant puts out the male flowers, and then they're cross-pollinating, which is great for sustainability. You know, you don't have a lot of inbreeding there. But if you have, and that's what's great about them being outdoors, because you have all this cross-pollination going. But if you have one or two plants and both of the male plants come out at the same time, and then they die off and then the female flowers come out, then it makes it hard to kind of pollinate. So you have to actually collect the male flowers so you can go back in and diddle the female flowers so they'll make fruit. And so certain plants are a little bit harder to do indoors unless you want to be really diligent about you pollinating them.
You mentioned a moment ago, about writing a book. How long has this thought been with you, and what's the book about?
Well, the book is actually called The Redneck Hippie Nerd, and it's just funny stories that have happened to me and my kids as we've grown up. We grew up out in the country, and there's a whole story around the birth of my last daughter. I had her at home, and I was about 2 weeks late. So there's a whole big story about everything that happened with it and her being late. There's stories about a raccoon getting in the chicken coop. You know, I just have lots of funny stories about raising my kids, growing up and raising my kids, and I'd like to share them because it will make you laugh.
Okay. Do you have any plans for a business book, hydroponics, or something else?
I do have plans. I wrote a curriculum years ago that was called the Healthy Kids Tour, which kind of takes kids through, this wouldn't be a long book, but kind of takes kids through a tour of different things, reading labels, planting. Most kids don't know you can go to your refrigerator, and most kids don't know that you can go to your refrigerator and you can regrow different things in there, like celery. Celery, you can cut the bottom off, stick it, and it will grow. That you can take the beans out of your pantry and grow pinto beans. And so just little things like that to talk about the sugar and what it does to your body and what better choices are, or even letting them know, aware of how much sugar that's in there. Most kids don't know how much sugar is in a Coke, and so if you actually measure it out and show them, or how much fat is in chips or a hamburger, just so that they're aware and they can make better choices about what they're actually putting in their bodies and what it does.
Sounds like something really, really worthwhile.
Yeah, so that one, and then I teach a tower garden curriculum in libraries and at different nonprofits and different things like that. And so I'd really like to bring that into like an online course. So I think would be absolutely wonderful. Lots of ideas. I just need to get them all out and finished.
How would you describe your ideal client?
My ideal client is somebody that is open, to learning new things and wanting to actually learn new things, whether it's learning gardening, whether it's learning to connect the connectors right now. Right now with the Connectors Network, we're doing the Visibility Power Hour, and then I'm taking over also the Marketing Made Easy, because we're connecting those two. So right now right now, I think it's just finding more people to connect with, to share ideas with. And so Connectors Business Network is awesome. It's an awesome group of people. I've met so many wonderful people. I've met Red there. So really anybody that's open to new ideas, that's pretty much who I'm hoping to connect with and want to learn.
How do people get in touch with you, Tanya?
So you can find me at tanyahulett.com/connect. If you fill in that information there, I will send you an email or a text, and I can share with you the different events that we're doing, whether it's nutrition, whether it's, do you want to join us for a drum circle? We do meditation sometimes online. If you're interested in connectors, just let me know what you're interested in, and we can get you connected, because that's what I love to do. Is I love to connect people to ideas and connect the dots between ideas so that everybody knows how they work, and share stories and have fun. I love people.
Okay, so your alignment's going to continue, so you can start getting your brand out there and expanding not only your physical network, but your digital network too here in the near future. That's a fair statement?
Yes, absolutely.
So, Tanya, for our audience that will join us later on this afternoon on the audio part, because we're all live TV, is Tanya, Tanya, Hulett, HULETT, teaching.com/connect. So Tanya Hulett, HULETT.com. Tanya, I had a wonderful time today. I look forward to you tonight. I get to do a presentation on the Connectors Business Network. And what am I talking about tonight? I'm talking about trust, basically about trust.
Trust.
Why do some people trust you and others don't? That's the short version of my slide. Says trust is a decision. So I got my slides ready for tonight. But anyway, Tanya, thank you so very, very much. I really and truly enjoyed our time today, and I look forward to connecting with you later on, especially tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
I know. That was Tanya Hulett. We're on the Wise Ones in the USA Global TV and Radio Network. And before I sign off, I want to remind everyone, if you're watching us today on YouTube and you're not a subscriber, please very seriously consider being one. We'd love to have you. We are found on 2 different channels on YouTube, the USA Global TV and Radio Network, and also on the Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. So those are the 2 that we would appreciate you signing up for. In about 25 minutes, my show Talking Heads is coming up. And today I'm talking about inflammation. Why does inflammation cause aging to spiral out of control? Inflammation is one of those damaging parts of the body that just kind of goes across every spectrum. So that's my primary focus today. And so Red O'Laughlin, I'm getting ready to sign off, and I look forward to next week or even here just in a few minutes. So take care, y'all. Bye now.
Every day, we wake up knowing what we should do. We know we should take better care of ourselves. We know we should have the difficult conversation. We know we should stop making excuses. We know we should invest in our future. We also know we should take the first step. So why don't we? It's not because we aren't smart enough. It's not because we don't have enough information. And it's certainly not because we don't care. We live in a world overflowing with knowledge. Books, podcasts, videos, courses, experts, even artificial intelligence. We have more access to information than any generation before us. Yet so many of us are still waiting for the right time, waiting to feel ready, waiting until tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week becomes next year, and before you know it, another opportunity has passed us by. The truth is, knowing has never been the finish line. It's only the starting line. Our lives don't change because we know more. Our businesses don't grow because we know more. Our relationships don't improve because we know more. And our health doesn't transform because we know more. Everything changes when we act. When we choose courage over comfort, progress over perfection, action over intention. The question isn't, what else do we need to know? The question is, what are we going to do with what we already know? Stop. Why Knowing Isn't Enough by Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Because knowing opens the door. Action changes your life. Available September 2026.
People are searching for experts every day. Are they finding you, or are they finding someone else? Every day, professionals are building authority through media. We've already built the platform. USA Global TV and Radio. Over 14,000 shows streamed to over 60 countries. This isn't about becoming famous. It's about leverage, visibility, credibility, opportunity. One interview, one conversation, one show, repurposed into content, connection, and business growth. Most people assume hosting a TV show requires a studio, a production team, and a massive budget. Our television packages begin at $1,500 US per month. Professional production, global distribution, replay visibility, built for voices with something to say. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, and if this resonates with you, we should talk. USA Global TV and Radio, all rights reserved. Contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/usaglobaltv. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.